The smoke alarm itself is not enough. The next thing you need to do is decide about an escape plan. If the fire happens, how are you going to get out of the house? And where are you going to meet your family? Where is your safe place?
If the smoke alarm wakes me up, I'll just run out the front door.
Well, the front door may not be the quickest way out of the bedroom. You need to get out quickly and stay out, and you can't come back in. So what are you going to do if the fire's between you and the front door?
I guess I need a second way out then.
Your escape plan must have two ways to get out, especially in the bedrooms. You have to think about two ways out of the rooms. You need to make an escape plan that's easy so that the whole family can get involved and come up with ideas together on how to get out in the event of a fire. When you're drawing your floor plan, it needs to be of your house, get a big piece of paper and draw each room, all of the doors, the windows. And you also need to draw anything that might possibly block your escape. For example, flower beds, bushes, anything that would make it difficult for you to get out. With a red marker, you need to draw the best way out of each and every room. For example, maybe from your bedroom you might draw an arrow that goes straight out to the front door. Then you take a blue marker and you draw your second way out. For example, it might be another door or out a window. Make sure that you also circle your safe place. That's where you and your family will be meeting. The reason for this is so the fire department will know that all of the family is safe.
Where should we meet?
You need to have a meeting place that's safe, outside. For example, near a mailbox, near the tree, somewhere that's out, away from the house, away from the fire. That way everyone knows where everyone is, and then you need to call the fire department.
How do I call the fire department?
Well, you go to your neighbor's house, or you can find a phone, call 911, or possibly your local emergency number.
What else should I do?
You need to practice and continue practicing your fire escape plan. It's very important to make sure that all of your windows and doors are easily opened. If you have a window that has the metal bars on there, you need to make sure that it has an easy release so you can push and get out quickly. The children need to practice their fire escape plan as well. It's very important.
I guess if I live in a two-story house, I should consider moving my bedroom to the first floor.
Well, that would be safer, yes, but if you decide to stay upstairs, then that just means that you need to have a better escape plan. Of course, make sure your windows can open. If you can open a window and, for example, get out onto a roof and then use a ladder to climb down, that would be safe. Now remember that ladders are only to be used for emergencies.
How often should I practice my escape plan?
You should practice every 3 months. If a fire happens, the heat and the smoke will rise to the ceiling. The safer and cooler air is lower down. It's easier to breathe. The smoke is very toxic and it's bad for you to breathe. Most of the fire deaths do not result from burns. No, instead, they're from smoke inhalation. Now the bedroom door, if it's closed and you hear the alarm go off, the first thing you need to do is take the back of your hand and feel the doorknob. You need to smell for smoke, and the reason that you're using the back of your hand is because it's more sensitive and it's quicker and easier to pull away if the doorknob is hot. Now, if you feel the door and it's hot, do not open it. You need to go out the window. That would be your second escape route. If you feel the doorknob and it's not hot, open it very carefully. If it's clear, get out quickly. If you see smoke, then you'll need to crawl. Now it's important that you crawl on your hands and your knees, and you need to get out. Do not crawl on your tummy. The most important thing, though, is to get out quickly.
So if I have a second escape route, should I practice that as well?
Yes, you need to practice all of your escape plan. Another thing that's very important is that you practice with your eyes closed, how you would open the doors and the windows. The reason for this is because most fires happen at night, or there's so much smoke that it's hard to see, so you need to practice how to get out by feel.
Once the fireman shows up, how do I communicate with them?
Well, you know that you can contact your fire department early. You can discuss with them and explain with them before a fire happens or before any emergency happens about your family situation. For example, there's a deaf person that has special communication needs, or there's another disability in the home. That way they're prepared.
What other things should I do?
Your escape route must be clear. Shouldn't have any toys or chairs or anything that would be blocking your route. You need to paint your house numbers on the curb. Or, if they're on the house, those numbers need to be easily seen from the street. A lot of fires happen in the kitchen. Let me show you how to safely cook. Here, put this on. Now I want to show you why you don't want to have loose clothing around when you're cooking. Look at this, the fire could come up and catch the sleeve on fire, so you need to roll that up. This is very important. Also, you need to keep a 3-foot radius around you and make sure everything is cleared away from the stove. No towels hanging off of your oven. It's too easy to catch fire and you don't want that. Now if you have children or pets, you need to keep them out of the way. You don't want them bothering you and get burned or touch the stove. If you're sleepy or you've been taking medication that makes you sleepy or been drinking alcohol, you don't need to be cooking. Now let's say you have to leave the kitchen for a moment. It's very important that you turn the stove off. And now, let me show you what to do if your pan catches on fire. If your pan's on fire, you take your lid, put it at this angle, and you slip it on.
Oh, so that's to protect myself.
Right. Now you turn the stove off, move your pan back, and get away. If you have a grease fire or it's oil that's caught on fire, do not pour water on it. That will splatter and make it worse. Again, just put the lid on. Always keep a lid handy. Put it at this angle, slip it on, turn the stove off, and move it back.
So Susan, are there any safety tips that you could share with me for using my microwave?
Yes, a microwave is safer. But never use metal. I have some examples here. Don't use metal spoons. Another example is this aluminum foil. It's metal, do not use it. You can use a paper towel or a plastic wrap if you need to. Now, let's say, for example, that a fire had started while you're cooking this in the microwave. Do not open the door. Leave the door closed, turn it off, and then call your fire department. I wanted to discuss with you some safety issues. For example, let's talk about smoking. If you have to smoke, you know it's not good for your health, but it's also the #1 reason why people die in a fire. Never leave your cigarette alone. And use a deep ashtray. For example, see how it's a deep dish? And never let your cigarette butts build up and overflow. Before you get ready to go to bed, you need to put some water in your ashtray. And never smoke while you're sleepy. If you're drinking alcohol or you're taking medications that make you sleepy, you really need to be careful. You need to sit like at the kitchen table and not in a recliner. Now, don't get too comfortable because it's too easy to fall asleep. And never smoke in bed. Children learn about the world around them from play and just being curious. They will be curious. They'll want to play with matches and lighters. But that's very dangerous for them as well as for the family members. You need to keep them put up high, away from the children. If you or a family member uses oxygen, don't smoke around them. Now I'd like to discuss with you about candles. Many home fires are caused by candles. If the electricity's gone out, the lights have gone out, don't use a candle, use a flashlight. It's the same idea with smoking. You don't leave your candles in the bedroom because if you've gone to sleep, it's easy to start a fire. It's the same idea with smoking. Don't leave them alone in a room if you've left the room. You need to use a strong, sturdy holder. For example, like this. That one doesn't easily tilt or fall over. It's pretty sturdy. You need to keep your candles away from window curtains or furniture, anything that's easily flammable. Before you use your candle, you need to trim the wick to 1/4 of an inch. If you use several candles together, you need to keep them 4 inches apart from each other. For example, you put one here, and then here, and here. When the candle has burned down pretty low, you need to blow it out and don't use it again. Throw it away.
Now let's talk about electrical safety issues. If you have an appliance that smells funny or a little bit strange, unplug it. You should have it replaced or professionally fixed by a repairman. Never put electrical cords under a rug. And if those cords appeared cracked, stiff, or frayed, you should replace them or throw them away. If an electrical cord feels warm to the touch, you should unplug it and throw it away. Don't use it again. Your extension cord is made only for short-time use. Let me show you some examples. This heavy-duty extension cord or a lighter weight one. Make sure that the lamps and night lights do not touch your window draperies or are close to the furniture. And never use too many plugs in an outlet. Here's an example. That would be too many. If you have small children, you should cover unused outlets with plastic covers. Here's an example. Now, let's discuss a little bit about fireplaces and space heaters. You should be sure to keep a 3-foot safety zone around a fireplace. Avoid wearing loose-fitting clothing and keep all fabric-related items, such as towels, window treatments, and other furniture, away from the open flames. Every year, before winter, you should check the chimney flue and make sure there are no cracks, and you should also have it serviced or cleaned. Use dry, seasoned wood. New and wet woods are more dangerous. Always use a fireplace screen to prevent sparks from coming out the fireplace. If you use a space heater, be sure to buy one that has a UL sticker. It should look like this. If the space heater should tip over, it should have an automatic switch to turn it off. Space heaters are only for temporary short-term use. When you're not using it, you should unplug it.
Now let's review how you and your family can keep safe. First, set up your smoke alarm and keep your smoke alarm clean. Second, plan and practice your home fire safety escape plan. Third, avoid things that could be mistakes that could easily cause fires. Christina.
Fire safety is not necessarily a lot of hard work. Don't smoke in bed. Don't leave your children home alone. Make sure any flammable liquids such as gasoline are not in the house. And if you have metal bars on your windows, make sure they're easily unlatched. Your homework is to find out how to contact your local fire department.
Before we close, there's one more new fire safety device that I would like to show you. It's called a residential or home fire sprinkler system. This is the best fire protection that you can have in your home. You can find out more about this system by either contacting your local fire department or you can pull it up on the internet. Someday, every home in the future will have one of these. We sure had fun making that first home fire safety video for the people who were deaf and hard of hearing.
Yes, and we had fun making the updated video also.
Our wish for you and your family is to be safe from fires at home.
Bye!